I've recently been rewatching The Fault in Our Stars, and warning, spoilers ahead throughout this video, but I feel like that should be no excuse with it being out for 7 years already, where the main characters are chucking eggs at the house and car of one of their friends' ex, and when the mom eventually walks out to see what they're doing, Augustus Waters, one of the main characters, exclaims out,
"Oh, stop. Crazy. Woo! Hello? Are you Monica's mother?"
I am.
Hello, ma'am. Your daughter, she's done a great injustice, so we've come here seeking revenge. You see, we may not look like much, but between the three of us, we have 5 legs, 4 eyes, and 2.5 working pairs of lungs, but we also have 24 eggs, so if I were you, I would go back inside. It actually worked? Yep.
That was the stupidest speech ever. That actually worked?
There you go.
And I think it was moments like this in the movie that felt so authentic, so real, so fun, that has really forced me to reflect, especially now that I've graduated and am working a 9-to-5 job, on what am I actually living for? What makes me get up and feel real and authentic and full of laughter? Because like Augustus in the movie, when he's in therapy group with Hazel Grace, one of the other main characters, he shares one of his deepest fears.
Oblivion.
Oblivion?
Yeah. You see, I intend to live an extraordinary life. To be remembered. So I'd say if I have any fears, it would be to not do that.
And I resonate with that. The fear of being forgotten, to be just lost in history, is a scary thing. And while I definitely don't hate work, in fact, I work with some of the most amazing people out there, I still do feel trapped working that 9-to-5, waking up every day, going to work, feeling exhausted after work, and then wondering, what comes next? Because I've just finished 21 years of my life in school, but what is coming next? What is the next step? And I really just don't know. And maybe it is because I am so new. You know, I've only been working full time for a few months now, but it's really made me think about what I should be prioritizing in my life. To not live with a lowercase l, but to actually live with a capital L, and to live consciously and understand life as I move through it. And so especially during the last few months, I've been thinking and deconstructing my thoughts, and I think there are 3 main things that I've really come across that I think explains my thought quite well in terms of living more consciously. Okay, so the very first thing that I've been trying to prioritize more, and the title is going to sound a bit funny, but it's called Throwing Eggs with Friends. And yes, it's inspired by the Fault in the Stars scene. But I really do think that this scene is amazing because even though I'm an introvert, I still love sharing those memorable moments with friends. When you sit around a campfire or you're on a couch and you can just laugh your ass off with your friends, thinking about the time that you did X or Y or Z adventure, and you just get to have that shared experience. And I really do think that these pro-social moments in life where you are sharing things with someone else, that really makes life worth living. That brings a smile to your face. And I think while this may seem obvious to a lot of people, I also think that many of us don't do it. Life gets busy, people get busy, people end up not having time for other people, and I've seen adults, you know, who are much older than me, as they grow up, they just run out of time to hang out with people, whether a family or friends or you know, whatever the reason it is, you know, they just begin to run out of time and you begin to lose these little moments. And I think that really sucks. I really do think that these little moments are one of the biggest joys in my life. And it's something I've really been prioritizing and trying to make more of these moments with my friends for as many opportunities as I'm able to get. Okay, so on to the second thing. Is going to be routines and growth. So this one's quite interesting because, you know, I just talked about feeling trapped in a mundane cycle. Still, I feel like routines are important, but actually with a bit of nuance in the sense of you have to have a healthy routine. I've been feeling trapped mainly because I've been waking up, going to work, feeling exhausted, and then I just fall asleep right afterwards. And I've really been trying to change that. I've really been trying to make sure that after work, I try to exercise or talk with friends or do some sort of passion project to get me moving, to keep my mind active, and to not just fall into some lethargic state. So really been focusing more on that routine, and it's really been helping me create more of a structure. Though definitely it still is a struggle, and I'm not saying that I 100%, you know, every day am able to feel just magically energetic, but it is something I am working towards. I think the second thing is also just understanding that I can have a life outside of work, because I feel like, especially in the US and as you grow up, people tell you, what job do you want to do, you know, because this is something you need to be passionate about, this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life. And I just don't feel like that's true, because we as humans are more multifaceted than that. Maybe I love photography and writing and video editing. Maybe I want to do YouTube. Maybe I want to learn electronics and microcontrollers. These are all things that I can do and I can spend time learning. And in fact, I've been trying to let myself have more of that childlike curiosity to just grow. Because working from that ground zero and working my way up, it's exciting. It feels like I'm learning something. It feels like I'm challenging myself. And I think that really keeps me going and in the loop. I mean, I watch YouTube videos all the time, and you know, the people like Stuff Made Here or Michael Reeves and like the Screaming Roomba, right? These are the things that make me laugh and just inspire me, and I want to follow along. And so I definitely think having this routine and this want for constant growth helps keeps me a bit more sane. And I think finally, the third thing is understanding that self-improvement to become perfect is an impossible game. So I think this in particular is inspired by another YouTuber called RC Walden, and specifically in one of his videos he talks about this. Our culture has begun to become so obsessed with self-improvement. In fact, if you just look at the Google trend, we can see that self-improvement and the self-help industry is growing at a rapid pace. But at the same time, self-help is a bit of a paradox in that it almost expects you to know what is perfection. Whether that means you're trying to become a minimalist, whether you're trying to live more consciously, or whatever. And you know, even in this case right now, that if you take it to the extreme of doing this to become a more perfect version of yourself, that you probably won't end up getting there. And here's the reason why. Because if self-improvement is working towards perfection, it means that you already know what is this perfect self of yours, that somehow it's lying deep inside of you and that you can just pull it out magically. But I can barely make myself a cup of coffee in the morning. How am I going to pull out this magical piece of self? And also, as life changes, as you move around, as new things come in and out, this idea of perfection changes. The way you adapt and respond will change. And so I really think, having watched this video, that it really gave me a lot of leeway to just understand that it's okay to constantly be in a state of flux. And I think that was a bit hard for me to accept, because I am the type who likes to meticulously plan out. Where if something doesn't go right, I feel like a failure. Where I think, especially because I did deal with depression for a long time, and especially through college, that I felt like there had to be a better, more perfect self of me. I just have to understand that there isn't. I think it's just giving me the ability again to enjoy the nuance in life. Because as Hazel from Fault in Our Stars says at one of the last and final scenes in Fault in Our Stars to Augustus Waters, where he feels scared to go into oblivion, to be forgotten, she tells him,
"You think that the only way to lead a meaningful life is for everyone to remember you, for everyone to love you. Guess what, Gus? This is your life, okay? This is all you get. You get me, and you get your family, and you get this world, and that's it. And if that's not enough for you, then I'm sorry, but it's not nothing."
Anyways, that's it. I know I've been away from YouTube for a long time, so if you are one of those recurring viewers, thanks for watching all over again. If you liked the video, hit like, leave a comment down below, give me your thoughts on what keeps you going. Maybe you are working a 9 to 5 now, maybe you're also a student who just entered into industry and also feeling the same exhaustion that I have. Is this something that you deal with? Or maybe you've dealt with this before and you've been in industry for a long time. And also feel free to join my Discord, where I love to talk to anyone who wants to just leave a question or talk about anything. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.